Transnet plans to launch a first African-designed and manufactured locomotive this year. Transnet Engineering CEO Thamsanqa Jiyane says the company is currently doing the final tests on this locomotive. The company will make history later this year with the launch of the first African-designed locomotive. Recently, Transnet helped to reinstate the Botswana passenger rail by supplying 22 passenger coaches to Botswana. The delivery is as part of a 280 million rand contract to build and supply 37 new coaches to the neighbouring country. Transnet is helping Botswana to bring back its long-awaited passenger train service. The service was discontinued in 1999 due to safety concerns. The train will do a 500-kilometre one-way trip between Lobatse and Francistown daily. Transnet has set an ambitious goal to put many more Africans on the first African manufactured and designed train. Wonderful pictures. Now I'm joined in studio by the Transnet Engineering CEO, Mr. Jiyane himself. Very good morning to you, Mr. Jiyane. Thanks for joining us here in Newsroom.
Good morning to you, Eben, and the viewers out there.
Just give us a little idea about this cooperation process between yourselves and Botswana Rail.
We've been working with Botswana Railways for a while. We obviously respond to tenders and we compete with entities from all over the world. And we've been lucky in that a few big ones we've backed in the last 3 or 4 years.
What are the goals with this Botswana initiative for Transnet? Is it the first of an expansion program that you're looking to maybe take continent-wide?
Transnet Engineering is an entity which is a division of Transnet that mainly manufactures rolling stock. We've been, over the last 20 years and more, manufacturing mainly wagons and doing maintenance and refurbishments on locomotives. In the last 3 years or so, we decided that with the capacity and the capabilities we have in Transnet Engineering, we need to use that wiser. We've been working in the last 10 years or so with Prasa as well, refurbishing most of their coaches. And we've built on that in that we started working on our own intellectual property to be able to design, engineer, and get to a point where we can manufacture our own coaches, as you could see with the ones we've manufactured for the people of Botswana. They had advertised the tender somewhere last year. I think it must have been around May, June, somewhere there. We responded to that tender and we were successful. We got awarded towards the end of July last year. We won and we are competing with many international entities.
Yeah.
We started the design review process with Botswana technical teams, which were finalized somewhere in October. So we built this train in about 4 months.
That is amazing.
And it's a state-of-the-art train.
Yeah, you can see it. It looks like a state-of-the-art train. What does it mean then? There we see the Botswana president, of course. No, but what does it mean for South Africa and wider Africa to have a coach that's designed and manufactured locally?
I mean, the sky is the limit for Transnet Engineering and the rest of the continent, in that we have something that we can truly and proudly say is African, designed by Africans for the benefit and use of Africans. We've been in the last 3 years engaged in various marketing activities to take Transnet Engineering to the rest of the continent. We are manufacturing wagons, various types of wagons, and we are manufacturing coaches.
Yeah.
We'll talk later about the locomotive that we'll be launching in the next 2 months. But in terms of the coaches, we are going to be aggressively engaging our other partners in the continent with a view to give them this technology to use. And we're also doing another launch in next week. We've been manufacturing wagons for the people of Swaziland.
Jobs, direct jobs. manufacturing locally. What are you foreseeing?
Look, as I say, the sky is the limit. We are at our initial stages because, as I say, this is the first of its kind. It's the first time we design, engineer, and manufacture coaches. We've had the designs for some years, and it's been the first time we put them into production. And coincidentally, we were making this train initially for ourselves. And when the order from Botswana came, we then decided that we'll give it to them and continue to make our own, which we'll use to showcase to customers who would want to see the product we make.
Do you see your locomotive as a key component in boosting trade across sub-Saharan Africa and the rest of the continent, for that matter?
Yes, of course. It's a locomotive that we've designed for the African continent. At the moment, the locomotive that we have designed is what we refer to as a branch line and yards locomotive. It's a locomotive that mainly gets used as a shunting locomotive. Yeah. We are in the future going to invest more in research and development, in developing something that is similar to what is being produced internationally in terms of heavy haul.
Is this sort of closing the book? Because historically the railways on the continent were seen to be a direct aid to the process of colonization, and even in South Africa we could see that apartheid lent heavily on the railways. Is this part of overturning that legacy?
Yes, it is. The railways is the most efficient and cost-effective mode of transportation, whether you're looking at transportation of goods or you're looking at transportation of people.
Well, Mr. Jiyane, I thank you for joining us today. It's certainly a very beautiful looking locomotive, and let's hope that we see it operating all over the African continent over the next decade.
Yes, but the one that you see are the coaches.
Yes.
It's passenger coaches, and we hope that the SABC will grace us with their presence when we launch our truly first-of-its-kind African locomotive.
All it takes is an invitation and we're there, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today. Now, Easter weekend has just passed, and the good news is that road fatalities have dropped by just under 50% this year. The Department of Transport and its agencies released these statistics in Pretoria yesterday. Now, a little bit earlier, we were joined by the Deputy Minister in the Transport Portfolio, Sindisiwe Chikunga.
This time around, we had a long weekend preceding the Easter weekend.
Yes.
We had schools closing, and we had holidays makers taking leaves because of the very fact that it was a weekend preceding the Easter weekend, and therefore we only had 3 days for people to go to work, and many of them signed leaves. But we also have quite a number of other events in the country, like your Two Oceans Marathon, some festivities in Oostdorp and even in Soweto, KZN and all. And that therefore said, we're not just having facing challenges that we normally face during Easters, but we are also facing other issues as well.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes.
But it is, you know, we look at these figures, and when you look at them, automatically you say, wow, I mean, this is fantastic. A 46% decrease, 287 fatalities last year compared to this year, 156. But I suppose we need to put it into a bigger perspective. People are still on holidays. So many people are still going to be coming back from their holidays. A lot of people, sort of schools are off. They're not going back to work as yet. People had left earlier. So when we talk about the difficulties, there's also, I suppose, something we need to read between the lines there. Will there be more analysis of road deaths following the end of school holidays?
Yes, we do. These are not the very last figures that we release. But of course, they will always preempt what is going to happen at the end of everything. Yeah. Like, for instance, last year we're talking about 287. And ultimately, we then had 333. But it will always preempt what is going to happen. And therefore, for now, these are not the final figures, as we indicated yesterday, yes, and the Minister indicated yesterday. However, we really